What's up guys? Welcome to Veldora-sensei. For today's video we will review the volume 11 chapter 1 of That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. Don't forget to like, subscribe and hit the notification bell. Without further ado, let's proceed with the video. A group of weird guys sat on sofas around a table in the corner of a magnificent mansion. This was one of the secret organization's western bases, known as Cerberus. Misha the lover, one of the group's leaders, owned the villa. Her personal maid greeted everyone with tea before bowing and exiting the room. As a result, the meeting officially began. After receiving the news, Yuki Kagurazaka said, "I see, it looks that everything has been going nicely. Everything went just as the boss had expected. I was beginning to believe Laplace had failed. Haha, Laplace is always cautious. But he's not a natural negotiator. Hold on, eh? That's something I'm a lot better at than you guys." Tyr and Footman remained silent in these circumstances, to which Laplace objected. It was more like casual banter between close friends than real complaint. "Don't be upset, things aren't that awful. I'm delighted you were all able to maintain your composure in the face of Leon," Kigali confessed. "Right. To be honest, I made a mental note for myself in case you guys lost control," Yuki continued, grinning as he ended. They'd have to wait and observe how things progressed if that were to happen. They'd just lose a method to connect with Demon Lord Leon at most. It wasn't such a huge deal now that they'd chosen to stop operating among the Western nations. "You're a merciless tyrant. By the way, when you let me inform Leon about the kids, did you have anything planned?" Laplace inquired, his tone solemn. "No, there was nothing particularly important about it. To be honest, Leon's primary motivation for collecting these incomplete summonses was most likely to increase his military force. On the other hand, I'm worried about whether he's planning something else," Yuki said, a wry smirk on his lips. "So that's why you informed him about the 5 youngsters who were under Demon Lord Rimuru's care. There's a lot more to it. After all, Leon's actions with those kids were solely based on our preconceptions. Incomplete summons, children, would unavoidably perish by design. Rimuru, the Demon Lord, rescued the children and bestowed upon them the power of spirits. Leon was completely unaware of the situation. What interests me more is what that person will do now that he knows about those youngsters who are scheduled to die shortly." "Ah, I see. That's absolutely fascinating. By merely seeing Leon's reaction, we may deduce the cause for his actions." "That is correct. After all, there haven't been many hints, so we'll need something to get us going. Don't we have it now? But, for the most part, I did it merely to see what would happen. I'm always paying attention to the finer points." Kigali and Laplace both understood what Yuki was saying after hearing his explanation. Indeed, as Yuki said, he may have been erring on the side of caution. He wanted to learn more about Leon's motivations, but more crucially, he needed to know why he was deliberately leaking information. What if Demon Lord Leon made a decision to act? Leon would not go to war with Rimuru just to get 5 more men. The danger of antagonizing Rimuru exceeded the benefits of his endeavor to strengthen his military. Leon wasn't foolish enough to be unaware of the situation. Under normal conditions, he would shrug off the deaths of those children, but if Leon took action, no matter the cost, then they could be certain that Leon was acting for another reason. "But they're only a couple of youngsters. I don't believe Demon Lord Leon will act," Kigali observed. Laplace smirked. "Seriously? Just to mention those children, we had to disclose information about the battle. After he got suspicious, my nerves were frayed. That takes a lot of time and effort to figure out. If Leon responds, things will surely become more intriguing. However, the chances of it happening were extremely slim." While Yuki's plan seemed attractive, both Kigali and Laplace believed it would inevitably fail. Yuki could only respond with a sardonic smile after seeing his buddy's reactions. "I warned you folks, it's my fault. It would be abnormal to expose the children's information if you didn't continue in that way. Also, if you had exposed it right away, given your acting abilities." Yuki pretended to be deafeningly deaf. He had no intention of completing his sentence. Laplace and the others were all too familiar with what he was trying to express. Tyr said it clearly for all to see. It's unfortunate, but it's something that can't be avoided. Footman isn't adept at giving presentations, and he also has a short fuse. The hubris of Laplace makes him suspicious. And no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't pull it off without making any mistakes, since I was on my own. Laplace was taken aback, while Footman appeared irritated. It was a rather regular occurrence. Tyr, however, surprised everyone by following up on her statements, as if she had come up with something on the spur of the moment. You might call me paranoid, boss, but something is bothering me. Oh, what is it? Now, here's the deal. When Footman began reciting the goods' names, Leon. What did Leon do? After that, he kept inquiring about the names. When Footman replied Croba Hale, Leon said, "Are you sure it's Croba, not Chloe?" Despite the fact that he had previously stated that the names didn't matter. That was the sole reason we didn't pay attention to names. That man appeared to be sensitive. No doubt he is concerned about such minor matters. Haha, that man was driving me crazy. He was most likely making fun of my pronunciation. The reaction from Laplace and Footman was mostly negative. However, Yuki and Kigali exchanged glances. How do you feel? Yuki inquired. Surely he wouldn't have such a reaction if he wasn't interested, Kigali said. But, it can't be. Is it possible for such a thing to happen by chance? We can't declare for sure that there is absolutely no coincidence if there are things like causation. Now that you mention it, it may very well be. That youngster named Chloe is most certainly Demon Lord Leon's target. It's not possible. Yuki was taken aback. If they were accurate about Chloe, they just threw away a trump card against Demon Lord Leon by accident. Kigali was more frustrated than Yuki. And if that were indeed the case, they might not have lost Clayman. She was enraged by the information. Tyr couldn't disguise her amazement at how her words had sparked such an unexpected potential. If their idea proved to be correct, reality appeared to be far too cruel and unfair to them. Were you all joking just now? Are both of you serious about what you just said? Both Laplace and Footman were stunned. Yuki and Kigali were skilled at scheming, but they couldn't see everything ahead of time. It didn't matter if they failed, they'd always come up with a second or third idea. They could always relax and devise a plan to deal with any scenario. Laplace was well aware of this, but he honestly believed the two were too concerned this time. Footman also nodded heartily, as though in agreement. Regardless, there's always the possibility that we're incorrect. At this moment, we can't rule out the idea, but we also can't say for sure if we're accurate, Yuki said. Tyr exclaimed, I believe what boss did out of curiosity paid out after all. No, this isn't your typical payoff. This may be a tremendous bombshell, Laplace predicted. Kigali pondered for a few moments. You make a valid argument. Although I won't place too much stock in it, it will be fascinating to see how things play out in the end. If things go well, we can use this to our advantage and let the most challenging demon lords battle among themselves. Perhaps it will also aid us in our vengeance. Tyr expressed her viewpoint. It doesn't really matter who wins in the end. We'll just think of it as additional playtime. Haha, I still think you guys are worrying too much, Footman comforted, but it's of no consequence to us. Anyhow, don't get your hopes up. After all, things aren't likely to go well. When Laplace realized that everyone was giving Yuki a pass, he urged everyone to make some reservations. The talk came to an end, since they were all aware of this. And that's it. Thank you so much. Don't forget to subscribe. See you on my next video.